It's music day here at Central Christian Church. We've got a female barbershop quartet, Mickey's group, practicing in the sanctuary right now. They're working on things in there. They're practicing in there. And then we come back here and back towards the choir room. And my daughter, Madison, and two of her friends came up because they wanted to practice something on the piano. So they're in here in the choir room practicing some things. That's what they're doing. So they're in here doing that. Have them say hi. There we go. They said hi. It's very musical this afternoon. At 1 o'clock today, there is going to be a Haitian church coming to take a look at the building. They're interested. They have been here before. I guess they were bringing some other people along with them, interested in buying the building. So we'll have to see how that works out. And let's see, going to go to the hospital and visit someone and take communion. The girls are going to go with me to be ambassadors to take communion. So it's just a fun afternoon here after worship at Central Christian. And today's worship was about step number 2 on the journey to be. Step number 2 on the journey to be says, I believe there's a God and I believe that I matter to him and that he is what I need to fill the hole in my life. That's step number 2. You know, we talked about the fact that believing in God is not the hard part. Believing in God is relatively the easy part. 80% of Americans believe there is a God. The hard part, what causes you to stumble when it comes to step number 2 on the journey to be, is I believe I matter to him. Because many times people don't believe they matter to God. They believe that God is out there somewhere, but not directly involved with them. They believe that God is the disciplinarian, and that he's more interested in finding out what's wrong and punishing. They believe that God is the judge or the drill sergeant. I was telling a story about how I met somebody one time that explained to me their understanding of the nature of God, and they used a bowling metaphor. And they shared that they believed God was like someone who's bowling. And God took the world and creation and the universe and everything and then sent it flying down the lane and then went to get a beer and has left the world to just move on its own to its fateful end, which will be when it crashes into the pens at the end of the lane. And the God can't do anything about the trajectory, can't do anything about what happens to the ball halfway down the lane because he's already let go of it. And that was his understanding of God. And so with that perspective of God, you're not going to believe that God is going to care for you or that you matter to God, because why would anybody believe that you mattered to a God that has simply just set processes in motion and has left the scene? So our understanding of God and who God is directly relates to our understanding of whether we believe we matter to him or not. And so the invitation for this week for the congregation and for you is to say, do I believe that I matter to God? Not that I believe in God. 80% of people believe that there is a God in some way, shape, or form, a supreme being, a higher power, a creator. So it's not that question that we wrestled with today. It's do I matter to God? And so that's your challenge for this week, is to ask that question. Do I matter to God? Do I truly believe that my life is important? Do I truly believe that God is interested in me and my life? I have to admit, for me, I was for a very long time, I believed that I did matter to God as long as I did the right things. as long as I made the right decisions and I went to church and I read the Bible and I did all these other things and I believed that I mattered to God. The moment that I stopped doing those things is the moment that I believe that I stopped mattering to God, because God was only interested in me keeping the rules. And that might be somewhat close to where you are. You might be in a totally different place. I don't know. But this week, this Hot Fudge Sunday, on this musical Sunday afternoon here at Central Christian Church, we invite you to contemplate and to consider the question, do you matter to God? Well, I hope that this week has a great you, and tune in next week as we take a look at step number 3 on our journey to be. And also next week is our big congregational meeting. So when I come to you next week, we will have an up or down vote on the new vision and mission from the congregation. And so I'll inform you on what goes on with that meeting too. So make sure you tune in next week for Hot Fudge Sunday. I'll see you soon.